Salamat Sori, and good afternoon from Mama Bali. Good morning, UK and Europe, and good evening, Aotearoa, New Zealand. It is a joy to come and join you all today with Madeleine, who's just returned from Egypt on this supermoon and blue moon that we are 14 hours on the other side of this evening. And blue moons don't come around often, and our next one is actually not due until 2037. So it's been a really powerful process we've been through since June solstice, through those two big super full moons in July, which were like going through an eclipse sandwich, and then into the Lionsgate passage. So it's been a massive passage of transformation where there's no going back. So we're going to begin our journey today with the alignment process, and then I'm just going to simply hand you over with love and care to Madeleine. So let's go through aligning our physical, mental, and emotional bodies. With all-pervading soul or higher soul, self, whatever you prefer, and monadic galactic self. Sinking a luminous thread from the root, the base, the womb space, down through the floor, the soil, the sands, the bedrock, the waters, into the molten core in the heart of Gaia. And inhaling that energy up with 3 sounds through the root and the base, through the belly, and through the heart. Inhaling. Activating the earth star 1 foot or half a meter beneath your feet. Connecting through the divergent meridians of the planetary body and those primordial elemental energies of creation and their infinite potential during this evolutionary journey. Inviting the elements up through your own unique pillar, cleansing, clearing, and purifying, regenerating, rejuvenating, and recalibrating, all the way up to the soul star, 1 foot or half a meter above the head, and activating the soul star. And inviting that celestial energy down to meet with the terrestrial energies coming up, to mix and mingle. Feeling into what it means to come from a place of self-sourcing sovereignty as pillars of this new earth. Surrendering through the core of Source in the heart of Gaia, where the new earth architecture emerges, where we are held and supported. Surrendering through the core of Source in our own heart spaces. Through the core of Source in the heart of the Sun and the great central Sun. The core of Source in the heart of the Moon and in the heart of Gaia. And activating our solar and lunar discs. And surrendering through the core of Source in the galactic center, through to Homo Universalis, our ancient future selves, inviting them into the present. And that may be through your pineal gland and gateway to God, or through your umbilical cord, wherever it feels right for you. Inviting and inhaling, exhaling the sound 3 times. The first time we'll be strengthening and fortifying our own pillars. And the second exhalation, Connecting your pillar with the point on the planet where you stand today. And the next inhalation, as we exhale with sound, we're connecting around and through the planet, through the body of Gaia. And connecting with all guardians of Gaia who may be watching this, viewing this recording in the time to come. When we come together in circle, a lot of information gets shared. That's what we're discussing, and that which is not. May we be open to receive that which is appropriate for our own unique and individual journeys through the unified field of love as we gather as one under this sun. Welcoming in today our Cetacean Nation, our island dolphins, our dragon clans, all the way back through to Gong dragons and the originator templates of our planetary body and our body. Welcoming in our star lions from Sirius and Lyra, through the seen and the unseen realms. All those are here to support the divine plan and divine will according to this grand unfolding on our planet right now. And thank you all for being here today and for your unique service. As I hand you over, Madeleine.
Welcome everyone, welcome all. Arani sofarda mai kino torda, ir katana for, mordo noi sai fardo, I tordo fona, nasto koina marda, I farda kanasi, bordo koina, ai fana, samanor, samanor, samanor. For calling in my Lyra and Leolani family, my Lyra and King Enod, Mother Sekhmet, Cetacean Nation, the Whale Mothers, inner and outer Whale Nation, all coming together to the place where lions and whales meet in a beautiful synchronistic and duality of guardianship of this our earth, our blueprint. There is so much release at this time. It is all about sound and water. It is all about sound and water. It is all about sound and water. The original sound, the original water, of past and future and present memory. So I would like to share much of what happened before in preparation for my journey to Egypt for the landscape. It was in celebration of my 70th birthday, so it was quite a milestone, and it felt so important to spend this celebration of this particular new chapter of my life for being with the Sphinx for the Lionsgate. And I realized that what Leon was talking about with the eclipse sandwich prior to the beginning of the Lionsgate, I was just rereading my notes that I'd written. I thought, I think I need to share this because it feels so important to what happened in Egypt as a preparation, but also as an opening of code sharing and code release, which is available to all of us now who are ready, not in an elitist way, but just it's about the heart space. It's about the sound chambers in our hearts of being open to receive, so that we are conduits and emanators of these sound scrolls and sound fractals for all who are called to receive them from us. So so with your permission, I'd really like to read a little bit about what I experienced. Saying to Liana, I have an amazing oak tree in a local forest, and I am guardian. I'm a servant of this tree. And most Sunday mornings, I go and lean my third eye against the tree. And together with a white-beaked dolphin that I met in Iceland, who I call Simi, we journey into the tree and into usually, not always, but usually the inner earth realms. But not necessarily, it can be whatever it needs to be. But we journey down into the inner earth oceans and connect with all the crystalline temples and pyramid cities of the inner earth oceans, and of course the inner earth whales and dragons. And all kinds of amazing things happen, but only really in a few seconds, because I'm leaning my head against this beautiful tree. My dogs are running around, and I just go straight in and get all this stuff, and then I'm out again. And then I usually get back to the car and use my voice recorder and just record what I've got before it kind of goes, because it can be so immense. And also then I get back and scribble in my journal. So I'd love to share during this kind of eclipse sandwich, sorry, everything's falling out, of what happened. Okay, so I'm just actually seeing, yeah, there's more actually. I've just turned the page back and there's much more. Yeah. So yeah, the Leonines have just been so present in this kind of pre-journey to Egypt. So on the 14th of July, I wrote Kingdom of the Lions. This was again, these are all kind of visions of going inside the tree. Immense domed cities within the inner earth oceans, with many lion beings, showing me huge stone etheric tablets with glyphs and inscriptions, similar to cuneiform and the tablets in the Egyptian Museum, which I did see. Ancient and future knowledge recorded these there for us to understand in this coming time of great synchronicity and alignment in preparation for the Lionsgate and beyond. These cities are placed in many dimensions, layers, levels, in vast crafts also, bringing them here through the star maps and channels. The star maps were shown to me when I was in South Africa in, when was it? December 2022. I met this amazing lion who will also show himself a little bit later. Is a white lion called Shalom. And I slept in a bedroom literally about a few meters away from where he was. And he gave me this amazing download of these star maps and all kinds of amazing information. So, and then on the 28th, after obviously the beginning of the Lionsgate, the Leonine Elohim, bringing the emerald tablets and light glyphs, shown Uluru as a huge emerald rock, and the king's chamber filled with this emerald light, and all the glyphs being embedded into our crystalline structures, as though our bodies were becoming like physical or etheric tablets, sound scrolls within our bodies, and toric fields, emerald cities in many crystalline layers and dimensions. And again on the 4th, the day before I left to go to Egypt, the tree vision was talking about the sound codes and embedded in every stone block of the pyramid, all being activated now by the sound, as the glyphs are resonating and presenting themselves finally now. Sound scrolls and sonic fractals resonating now. The stone beings within the blocks sacrificed and committed to holding this wisdom for eons until the right time for release into the new earth. As the glyphs were originally embedded within the stones, their wisdom has been hidden until now, finally awakened to be transmitted for the unfolding new earth. The stone people of the Sphinx are also presenting this code release now from the crystalline structures within the composition of the stone, also holding the memories of the water and cetaceans who were formerly there. All stone structures around the world connecting with each other now, henges, dolmens, pyramids, long barrows, etc., etc., all uniting and unveiling now at this momentous time. Uluru Katasuya Atia, also aligning more and more. So when I went to the Great Pyramid, which was on the 7th, we were allowed to go right down, about 30 meters, right down into the underground chambers of the Great Pyramid that have only just been opened, and we're very, very lucky that we were allowed to go down there. It was quite arduous and sort of bent double, going all the way down, but it just showed all the channels of the waters that have been there that have helped create the pyramids and hold that memory. As this information is talking about, this sound is absolutely imbued and embedded in everything. And when I was in Iceland, I obviously met, as I said, the white-beaked dolphin, but I also really connected with the stone people. And what they were saying about sacrificing themselves, allowing themselves to be formed by whoever was doing that, star families, whatever you want to call it. They chose to be the keepers of that wisdom. They chose to hold those memories, those glyphs, those sigils for eons of time until right now, when they are allowing this amazing release. They are gifting this to us all for the new earth. And that was pretty mind-blowing, really. And seeing the emerald light within the King's Chamber before I actually got to the King's Chamber, I had been in there once before, was pretty amazing. So when we connected with all the waters of the underground channels of the Great Pyramid, that was pretty amazing. And then we journeyed up and up and up and crawled through very small spaces to get into the King's Chamber. I don't know whether, I can't remember the name of the guy, but there's been a video of this guy who's seen all these glyphs that have been previously hidden within the stone blocks of the King's Chamber. And again, he was talking about the frequencies of this time right now, of everything showing itself, everything presenting itself as a glyph form, but also as a sound code, as an emanation from each block within the King's Chamber, and obviously the whole pyramid, and the pyramid, all the pyramids upon the earth and within the earth and above the earth, without the earth. So that was pretty amazing. What happened though, when we all had a kind of a turn, if you like, to lie in the sarcophagus, which I have done before in 2008. And the group almed around, and that was really amazing. I felt all these stars kind of tumbling down. But then afterwards, I sat with my back against the sarcophagus. And then Shalom, the white lion that I met in South Africa, who taught me about the star map, came, but like times 4. He was like this immense lion being. And I don't know whether when I describe this, whether you feel, if it feels right for you to kind of feel into this and see whether you can get a sense of this for yourself, because this was pretty mind-blowing. I'll put my book down in a minute. As I lay against the granite of the sarcophagus and tune into that, this immense white lion came and stood kind of over me with a huge paw either side of my conceited body. And from his third eye, he was shining out this beautiful diamond, what he called the Lyran heartstone, from his third eye. And it was absolutely dazzling. It was as though it was filling the whole of the king's chamber with this light. And he leaned this beautiful stone against my third eye and gifted it to me. I had received a crystalline ankh from the Leonine being known as Telos from the inner realms. And when I was with all the lions in South Africa, including Shalom, when they all roared in one evening, they really activated this crystal glyph within me. Sorry, this crystal ankh within me. So he said, I'm giving you this here. It's a heartstone, but I'm putting it in your third eye because you already have the crystalline ankh within your heart. But then, to my amazement, with one of these absolutely immense paws, he stretched out his claws and tore down, ripped a layer of my toric field right the way down through my body. And it wasn't scary at all. It just felt like he was just sloughing off residual limitation, residual denial in a way of who I really am. Well, he said, you are Leolani, you are mother of lions. And this kind of last residual layer just fell away. This huge paw, these massive claws just ripped down through this last layer. And I just felt like my whole body just gleamed and beamed. And to feel his heartstone, this beautiful diamond in my third eye, I haven't even begun to really tune into that. But maybe you can feel this within you. Maybe you can get a sense of what this might feel like for you. Because this gift to me is a gift for all who wish to receive it. These immense Leonine beings are here. They are here to help us grow and be illuminated, to slough off the old and shine our lights in all our magnificence, what the lions call it, our magnificence. We can honor our human aspect, but embrace our magnificence. This is what they wish for us right now. To get a sense of this incredible Leonine being, Shalom. I can also feel Mother Sekhmet overseeing this, that she's standing behind me, encouraging you to stand in your magnificence. Saramain, Kordofoin, Ardamai. Maybe you might get a sense of all the lions roaring, activating your diamond heart, or whatever feels right for you. Maybe you can feel your power growing. maybe you can feel your heart expanding. The sound chambers start to expand and resonate in this realigning. Receive the gift of realigning. Take some gentle breath, integrating and absorbing it if it feels right for you. Know that this comes from so much love. So much. For your light is needed. You are the bringers of the new dawn. You are the bringers of this light. You are the bringers of this sound, this ancient and future melding of knowledge and wisdom and magnificence. And so just allowing that. And now we come to the lines. The eight, the eight. Having permission to enter within the pores of the great lion being. We were told that there were 7 entrances to the Sphinx, beneath the Sphinx. I had always visioned that sand scrolls were held within catacombs, underneath the Sphinx. And lo and behold, there was a little wooden box-like structure against the wall of the body of the Sphinx. And the guy who was with had a key, and he opened the box, and there was an entrance beneath the Sphinx. So I very cheekily took a picture of it because it's not normally opened at all for anybody really. So we were very lucky. But when I stood at the altar of the Sphinx between the pores, I placed some little quartz points in the shape of a Syrian star, which we were not allowed to do. I had to remove them. But anyway, as I stood there, the very first white lion I ever really physically met was Mandla from Timbavati. And when he passed, I saw him as a winged lion. And he had a huge effect on me, this winged lion. And as I stood at the altar, I became a winged lion, and we flew underneath the Sphinx on this river of stars. And it was just the most incredible experience. Absolutely amazing. And obviously then we really connected with all the waters that had been there, surrounding the pyramids and the whole Giza plateau. Just again, holding all those memories of the ancient waters and the starlight codes. So that was amazing. And then it was just the most incredible feeling, just flying as a winged lion through the river of stars. And a couple of days later, after this, although that wasn't enough, I really wanted to go to this place that some of you may know very well. It's a place called Wadi Al-Hitan, and it's roughly translated, means where the whales walk. And it's just desert, just desert now, but they have discovered more than 147 whale skeletons there. Ancient whale being called Basilosaurus, huge toothed whale, huge being. And so I really felt I really wanted to go there, and it was just incredible. Just skeletons everywhere, and they had a museum where they had two huge ones kind of encircling each other within this. It's not actually a dome, but it was a huge glass kind of area, and you could get a sense of how enormous they were, and their roles. So I say to Leanne that this last Sunday morning I went to the tree again to really connect, because it's been really full on since I've been back. I can't believe it's a week since I left Egypt, or was leaving Egypt, and not really had a chance to really sit with the whole connection of the lions, the leonines, and the cetacean nations, of really what this could be. Really, this kind of, I'm very much aware that they work together beautifully in such harmony. They do such an incredible job, but really from the Lionsgate kind of perspective. And what the whale beings said was that they kind of reconnected me back to the river of stars beneath the Sphinx. And they were saying that the leonine beings, these winged beings, were then flowing into the oceans of stars. From, like, the rivers were like tributaries coming in to feed the ocean of stars, and that I could visualize all the deserts that were formerly oceans all being kind of reactivated, and I could see went to the white desert, and that was incredible because there's just all these amazing white rock formations. Some of you may have already been there, but it's just beautiful formations, and so much cetacean and shell kind of energy all embedded within these rock formations. But then the ancient whales showed me these oceans all there, and the most enormous nautili. And they've already been showing me these nautili from the inner earth oceans, where they are kind of sound emanators. And they've also shown me sea harps that are kind of strummed by seagrass within the inner earth oceans. So what the ancient whales were showing me were these oceans all kind of reinstated and sparkling, beautiful turquoise, and all the starlight sparkling, as though each star was also a holder of the star codes and the sound. They keep saying the sound, yeah, and I could hear all these harps kind of singing and trilling and mixing and mingling with the whale song and the sounds from these huge nautili. It was a most amazing vision to see, having actually been there and stood on the seabed, as it were, and slept. We slept the night there, slept on the seabed of what was the seabed, and really felt the whales and the lions completely integrating and almost kind of absorbing into each other, becoming this immense unified being, because that's what really fascinates me. My passion about the leonine beings and my passion about the cetaceans, and I just feel I'm both, and this was really showing this, just amazing. So yeah, but so I'm just checking if there's anything else I want to share before. I'd love to get any feedback or anything you'd like to share, because yeah, it was just the most amazing experience, and so expansive for me, and kind of reaffirming what I feel I'm here to be in service to share. And through my sound work now with Earth Star, it just feels so important to share these codes to anybody or everybody who wishes to kind of receive them. It feels like a real mission. And on the last day before we left, or it would have been last Monday, Monday before last, not yesterday, we went to Dashur and we went to the Red Pyramid. And within the Red Pyramid is the most incredible sound chamber. And I have to say, I took a little quartz crystal bowl because I had this vision of playing and singing with it within the King's Chamber. And I got with it, I sort of stuffed it down my friend's big rucksack. But of course, the guards are very anti any meditation or anything remotely against what they feel is the correct behavior within the pyramids. So I got within the Great Pyramid, but I was stopped and searched and it was removed. So I was a bit sad about that. But then I thought, no, get over yourself, because the bowl has entered the Great Pyramid. It has absorbed the frequencies of the Great Pyramid. So it's all cool, you know. Let go of that expectation. So when I went into the Red Pyramid and sang within there, because the acoustics were out of this world, literally out of this world. It was just incredible, and I was with my two friends that we call ourselves Trinity, and as Trinity we all harmonized together, and the sound was just, oh my God, it was just bliss. The feeling of singing in there and the resonance of the acoustics within there was fantastic. So I recorded a little bit of that, and I recorded me singing some of the Lyran language as well, and so I did get a chance to do that. But what I'm so happy is that I also had the little crystal points that I had to remove from the altar of the Sphinx. The bag of the crystal points had been everywhere with me. Every single pyramid, went under the step pyramid at Saqqara, through all the sound chambers there, everywhere it had been with me. And so those little crystal points are within the little crystal bowl. And also I asked permission to remove or receive, better word, some small crystal rocks from the crystal mountain that we went to. It was extremely hot, but those small crystal blocks, not that is, are also within this crystal bowl. So it's holding so much from everywhere within the places and the frequencies that were being released and all the codes. So although it's a very small little quartz crystal bowl, it's holding an awful lot of information. I'm really looking forward to playing it in front of audiences, just to see how that affects the audience and in what way that it might be received. So it's so wonderful to make those connections and to really have so much confirmation about how important the time is now. And all of you beautiful souls that are really stepping up to be of service and doing the most amazing work, just such beautiful work. It's just so wonderful to know we have so much help, we have so much guidance. There is so much that is here for us, in whatever way resonates with each of you, of each of us, is to find our way and find our path to shine our light, our as conduits, and to be guided by these absolutely immense beings, star families. And it's about really stepping into our hearts and allowing our hearts to be open, these new sound chambers, to really expand our hearts. So whenever we're speaking or we're singing or we're sounding, whatever we're doing, we are emanating these sound codes that are within us already. It's just that perhaps we're getting a little bit of a nudge to finally step up and step out and share them. And to me, that just feels so wonderful that we have so much assistance and so much reassurance that we are on the right path, we are on the right track, however nuts we may have felt, or however isolated we've felt in the past, by knowing that we have a part to play in this, but feeling that nobody really gets that, nobody really understands that. Are we just going crazy? But we know we're not. We absolutely know we're not. And it's just have this whole team of amazing star families, this wonderful alliance of wherever each of us originate from, wherever we feel our homes are, that we are all integrating and all joining forces in this amazing unification. And the elemental realms, the animal kingdom, the nature realms, everything is all unifying. This is what the animals have been teaching me for the last few years. It's all about interspecies unification, but not just earthly interspecies. It's like all beings who are coming from this heart space, all joining together right now. So yeah, so let's just take some breath to see how that feels to you, how that is residing within you, Alec. I would love to hear any comments you might have, because it's been such an honor to be asked to share this, and as a kind of an emissary of the real kind of lion energy from being within the Sphinx on the Lionsgate. It's a pretty amazing thing to be allowed to do and then have the privilege of sharing. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Leolani, for sharing your journey with us. Thank you for being here, and congratulations on this rebirthing. What I didn't tell you when we first came on together is that you look different.
Thank you.
You are glowing in your golden mane, in your white mane right now, full of lion codes and stardust. And it's really, really beautiful to witness. And please don't be concerned about your crystals and crystal bowls and what the Egyptian guards would or would not allow, because you have become your crystal bowl. Yeah. You have become your crystals. And it's all within you, and it's vibrating out from you. And they were shared and conveyed in your story, in your journey here today, in a really beautiful way. And I loved it when you said that you sat back and leant against the chamber inside the king's chamber, because as soon as we did that, I literally felt the big lion body surround me. Mm-hmm. And it's truly, it's beautiful. Also very grateful, having lived so many years in Africa and wilderness areas, wildlife areas with lions, and having spent time with the white lions of Fimbavati and the South Point as the guardians of the Nile Meridian. Mm-hmm. And really, really beautiful journey there and sharing of those codes. So thank you so much. And I love the lead up to the journey and you sharing your information, because Jenny, who's also with us today, just 3 days before you received all the information about the tablets coming on and online, is in a journey that Jenny and I had shared with the soul of her father. Wow. We unlocked these within, or they unlocked them. I was just a spectator. Jenny and her father's soul were carrying the codes to unlock an extraordinary chamber that's just off the coast of Alexandria, where the old library was, that contains the ancient history of humanity. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they went in there, and literally the chamber unlocked, and their systems unlocked the tablets. And it was to bring this information that had been held and safeguarded for that period back to humanity so that we could remember the roots of our galactic origins. So it's a gift to have that mirrored through you, and have Jenny here today, who was on that journey with her father.
Jenny. Wow.
Yeah. And if anybody's watching the recording and wants to see more detailed information of that journey, you'll find it on the Guardians of Gaia recording that has a green tablet on the front thumbnail picture of it. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Wow. I just love, when you get such incredible confirmation. And actually, that was one of the choices to go to Alexandria, because Syed, the guy who was organising our trip, was concerned about how hot the desert was going to be in August. And he was saying, go to Alexandria, it's a bit cooler there because the sea and everything. We're going, no, we really, really want to go to the White Desert. We really want to go to Wadi Al-Hitan. It was kind of like, it felt so important to connect with the whale beings and the pre-oceans, as it were. So we went. It was very hot, but we felt we had to do that. So lovely to get the Alexandria connection. Beautiful.
Yeah, and it is very, very hot at that time of the year, because literally the last 3 journeys I've facilitated through Egypt, the last 3 sacred journeys have all been specifically through the Lion's Gate. As you walked as well, with private visits inside the King's Chamber on the 7th and at the Sphinx on the 8th. So it's really beautiful to have this reflection. We were last there in 2022.
Right.
The first journey was through the Egyptian timelines. The second one was through the ancient Atlantean timelines. The last one was reactivating the divine blueprint of our galactic origins. So it was wonderful that you were journeying there this year, and also wonderful that the next journey to Egypt is being guided not at Lionsgate, but at September equinox.
Okay.
In 13 months from now is the next sacred journey to Egypt. And this is really interesting because of the potency that this equinox is for us. And I've been speaking to this in a few meetings lately, is that, we've been through a lot since June solstice, the big full moons, the Lion's Gate. We're in another big blue moon, and we're going into another period of the equinox and then the actual next eclipse sandwich. And many are feeling this undertow, a pulling down and a pulling in. And it's like the undertow, I feel, is like a massive tsunami of awakening that's going to come and flood across the earth through the September equinox passage. So if you're feeling that down and in pull, or a lot of work and a bit, know that it's all part of the preparation so that you can hopefully surf through the passage rather than tumble.
Oh, I like that. Surf through it. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. I don't know if anybody else has any questions or contributions while we're together.
Yeah, I'd love to hear if anybody
with Madeleine.
Share anything. It would be fabulous. You want to put your hand up?
Jenny.
Yeah,
Thanks
Jenny,
for
hi.
sharing. That was so, really powerful, especially when you were sharing about, Shalom and then Sekhmet behind you, and I could just feel this really, really strong energy. And I feel really called to work with the sort of sound, the sounding, and explore, well, what are the sounds within me, but also, I'd love to learn from you if there's a way to connect. I'm in the UK as well.
Whereabouts are you, Jenny?
I'm in Shropshire.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's something we can definitely work on. So that would be lovely. I'm in right on the Somerset Devon border in the southwest.
Okay, I go that way because I'm connected with Salisbury as well through family, and I'm actually going to be at Stonehenge for the equinox. So
There you go. There's a plan in the forming.
Yeah, around that journey.
Yeah, thank you so
thank
much
you.
thank you so much for sharing your the way that it resonated within you. Thank you so much. Anybody else want to share anything? I love to hear how it might have affected you or not, or whatever. It's always good for me to hear. Okay. Oh, can't hear you. Can't hear you, Leah. Hang on, Leanne, I can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself? I can unmute you.
I just think we Nuria might have been going to unmute herself and we just lost it in.
Oh, that's
But
okay.
it is because she's in Ibiza and I didn't know Ibiza had been in drought for a really long period. Wow. And we actually did a massive, I was explaining to the group when we did it that if you get a situation, an energetic situation that's locked in the land and locked in the people, it creates a gridlock.
Yeah.
If you can shift it in the people, it'll shift in the land, or if you shift in the land, it'll shift in the people. And we actually got to the root of what was causing the drought in Ibiza. And literally, when we unlocked it, it was a big interference with the collective consciousness of the coaching industry. And it had been locked in the land and the people. And when we freed it, literally that night it started raining. The heavens opened.
Wow, fabulous.
Yeah. And that was really exciting. So I was wondering if she wanted to check in, but we've lost her.
Oh yeah, I wonder if she can come back. If not, maybe she can comment and then we can read what she wanted to share.
Yes, because we'll put this recording out afterwards then.
I think yeah, so if everybody's okay, we can maybe do a closing down, because I think we've been like pretty expanded by everything. So Leanne, did you want to do that as a closing or whatever?
We will. So, with love and gratitude to Leolani, Madeleine, Shalom, Sekhmet, our cetacean nation all the way back to the ancient whales, whose skeletons remain in Wadi Al-Hitan, the Valley of the Whales, in the sea of sand, in the ocean of sand in the Sahara, where once there was water. Thank you for gathering with us today. Thank you for sharing your keys and your codes, accompanied by the tablets that have been unlocked through the ancient history of Alexandria, containing the true history of humanity at this turning over of time, the true history of our galactic origins. May they be restored with integrity. May we remember who we are. And may we remember that our present matters. At simply being here and remembering that we are love at this time on the earth is all that's required. Anything else is a bonus. Honoring all our sisters and brothers and guardians of GAIA around the planet who will listen to this recording. Thank you for your service. And thank you all for gathering today. May we return and restore ourselves fully intact on the earth plane, releasing ourselves from the circle, coming back to our point on the planet, our sacred space of love where we call home at this time being. And as I say this time being, my bees are on their evening flight to reset their GPSs as the sun sets over Mother Bali. And I'm going to close today with giving you a view of the sunset. over Mama Bali, over the waters, at this point on the planet where our dragon lines meet. Thank you for joining us today, and we will meet again in 2 weeks' time on our new moon. Much love, everyone, and thank you for being here. Thank you, Madeleine.
Thank you so much. May all be light, may all be bright, may all be stars. Blessings.
Aho, it is done, and it is so.